Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos. In this video, I am going to be going over a 9/8 pre-screen of what we believe is around 59 books that just got back from CGC. These books have been volunteered to this video by my good friend Octavio. If you've been watching these videos, you know that Octavio has been a big supporter of content for these videos, and I appreciate it very, very much. But once again, this is a 9.8 pre-screen submission to CGC. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to unbox these. We're going to take a look at the books that are in here. I don't know anything about these books. I don't know what the titles are. I know that there's multiples of some of them in here, but I don't know how many of certain books are in here. So we're going to go through them, and we're just going to kind of enjoy the 9/8s that Octavio got. In addition, we're going to take a look at the books, if any, that were rejected. We will analyze those books. We'll see if we can't figure out why those books did not receive a 9.8. All of this is done to better understand what CGC is thinking, how they go about their grading, so that we can all become better, smarter, more efficient submitters to CGC. The last thing I'll say is that there are a lot of books here, so this could end up taking a while, and I definitely want to make sure that we have enough time to analyze any books that may be in here that didn't get the 9.8. So I'm going to start with one of these boxes, and if there are fewer than 5 rejects in there, we will keep going to the next box, and if there's 5 or more rejects in there, then we're gonna stop right there and we will do our analysis of those books. Okay, that's clear. Let's go ahead and jump right in to opening up one of these boxes. Now, oh, they're heavy. Now, just so you know, these books were not pressed. And generally speaking, it's my opinion that if a book is worth grading, it's worth pressing. However, I would say that the one exception to that is in a 9/8 pre-screen. That's the one time. In fact, after kind of doing these submissions with Octavio, these videos with Octavio submissions, I warmed up to the idea of not pressing certain books in certain 9/8 submissions of books. If you think you have really 25 books that are just really, really nice and don't need to press, I think you can go ahead and submit them for a 9/8 pre-screen and hope for the best. And then worst case scenario, if they come back rejected, it doesn't necessarily mean that they aren't 9/8 potential with a press. So that's something that you can figure out for yourself. And that's something we'll be doing when we try to figure out why these books were rejected, if they were. In addition, something I've talked about before in these videos is that, in my opinion, a successful submission of a 9/8 pre-screen is getting 20% rejects and 80% accepted. Anything 20% or lower as far as rejects are concerned, I think is a good score. In this instance, that would be 5 books. If 5 of these are rejected, then that's a good score. Okay, out of 25. In this one total, it'll be, let's see, if it's 59 books, like 12 books. 12 books reject. So we'll see how Octavio did with his score. Now, the first thing I'll show you, I pulled out some of it already. I like to show people how CGC is doing with packing. This is not a full box of 25. This box generally does hold 25 books. This is a partial box. It does not look like there are any raw books in here at all. So that's interesting. And what they've done is they've packed it in here pretty well. They have this on top of it that protects it really nicely. And then they fill all the extra space with this bubble wrap right here. There's a little bit more wiggle room than I would prefer from a shipment, but I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty safe, and I think these books are probably undamaged. Okay, we're gonna go through and we're gonna pull these out and see what we have here. I'm gonna flip them around. It'll be a little bit easier to do it this way. Oh no, the other way around. Okay, great. So first, in no particular order, we have Star Wars, The High Republic, issue number 3. Good stuff right there. This High Republic series has been really, really good, and it's very collectible and lots of first appearances in there. Here's another one of those. That's a great cover. Another one of those. Now, I don't think this is a first appearance or anything here. It's just been a really great, great series. There's a lot of these, folks. I think that's the majority of this box. Is this cover right here. So we're gonna blast through them. Now, of course, I'm not showing this to you, but each one of these is bagged. Yeah, folks, spoiler alert. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, no, this is a variant for it. By the way, this is the variant edition for this. I was noticing I wasn't really recognizing this cover right away. Lots of these. Now, like I said, I don't think that this is a first appearance or anything, but it's just a really collectible series. And maybe this cover is really great as well. Let me know down in the comments if I'm missing something, if there's something about this book that I don't know. There you go. Folks, there's just more of them. Octavio likes to buy multiples of books and submit them all. I don't blame him at all. Oftentimes these books are available from Octavio for sale. I don't think he got this many of them done just for his own personal collection. If you're interested in purchasing a 9/8 issue of this cover of The High Republic issue number 3, contact me on Instagram. The information for my Instagram is down in the comments. I'll put you in contact with Octavio. Okay, that's all of those. That was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 copies of The High Republic issue number 3, this variant edition cover. Very cool. Very nice. All right, we'll see if there was any rejects of those at all as we get into these other boxes. There's only 2 other books in here, and it's one of these. We saw these in Octavio's previous submission that we made a video about. We saw some of these Jen Bartel, what would they call it? Women's History Month. I actually think there were copies of this book in there. The CGC kind of broke up the submission in an interesting way, but that's fine. They got some books back as quickly as possible. So we got 2 copies of this Avengers issue number 43, this She-Hulk, done by Jen Bartel. Very cool. Okay, and that is box number 1. There are once again, no raw books in here. Now, generally what we learned through a previous video in this series is that what CGC tends to do is if there's a submission of more than 25, they told us that what they do is they put the first 25 books in the submission in a single box. And if there are any rejects from those first 25 on the list, they put those rejects in that box with the ones that weren't rejected. So what's interesting to me was that there were no rejects in that first box. So I don't know if that's a hard and fast rule that they have, or if it's just like a guideline that they use for themselves. But it's worth knowing. I'm sure this all will become clearer as we get into this submission deeper. All right, this next box is packed similarly. Once again, this is a heavier box, so I have a feeling that this might have more slabs in it than the first one. It's got this thing on top. It's what they do. packing slip as always. Oh, no. This is, wow, this box felt a lot heavier. This box is about half full. And it's packed similarly where it's got all the slabs here and it's got the extra space filled here with this bubble wrap. I'm actually quite surprised that they didn't put more of these books that we just opened from the first box in this box instead of this bubble wrap. Why didn't they put slabs in here and then ship 2 big boxes and then maybe 1 smaller box? I'm going to give CGC shipping the benefit of the doubt, which I usually don't do, and assume that they had a very good reason for doing it that way. But we will learn more possibly as we go along. Okay, let me pull all those out. Oh, there are raw books in here. I'm used to them putting them in Gemini, but no, there are raw books in here. Let me make sure that there aren't raw books in this first one. Hold on. No, there's a piece of there are pieces of cardboard similar to this one, but there's nothing in this. You see this one inside these cardboard, you have to look carefully, has some books in bubble wrap there. So there are some raw books rejects right there, but that, once again, this has cardboard in it, but none of them contain any kind of rejects. Okay, so I'm glad I double checked because I saw the cardboard, but okay, we'll get to that in a moment. We'll get to these also in a moment. There doesn't seem to be much in there, so we're going to push through and get these 9/8 going. Guys, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Hold on a second. I'm going to put these down right here to give myself a little workspace. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. Are these set up in a good way? Yes. So we have Black Panther, issue number 24. This is a Jen Bartel variant. Once again, these Women's History Month covers. I don't think I've seen this one of Shuri. This is a really great one. That's pretty cool. And the conventional wisdom is that Shuri will be having much more of a life in the Marvel Cinematic Universe moving forward. So this is probably just like a really nice collectible cover to have. And something that I've noticed recently, and something I was kind of resistant to for a while, is that I was kind of not a cover buy person. I was a key person. I thought good covers were just kind of bonuses. But more and more, as CGC is becoming more and more popular, I'm noticing that strict cover buys, books that are being bought for the cover alone, are becoming more and more legitimate as an investment and as something to collect. So that's something, a little change that I've made to my collecting outlook recently, is that I'm much more willing to buy a non-key with a great cover, because I think that there's something to be said for those books. All right, we've got another one of those. And another one of those. Okay, now we have a different book. We have Alien issue number 1. This is the Scotty Young variant cover. This is fun because this is the first series of these characters, the Xenomorphs, in Marvel Comics. That's a lot of fun right there. The ad on the back is fun as well. It's upside down, except for the Marvel logo there at the bottom. The rest of the ad and text are all upside down. That's fun. But I like Scotty Young, and this is a really fun Scotty Young cover. If you're an Alien fan or a Scotty Young fan, that's a nice book to have. Let's see. Oh, this is another one. This is the A cover by Inhyuk Lee. This is the copy of this book that I have myself. This is a nice one to have right there. We have, let me make sure this stacks up properly. We have, another one of these. We have another one of these, this Scotty Young variant there. We have, this is the Momoko one. This is a really good too. This might be one of, if not my favorite Peach Momoko cover. I think that this one is really great. I like it a lot. So this is a great, great cover to have if you're an Alien fan or if you're a Peach Momoko fan. Let's see. Are there more of those? Yep, at least one more of those. And one of these Inyuk Lees, another one of those. And let's see. Another one of these. Once again, I remind you, if you're in the market for any one of these books, reach out to me on Instagram, and I'll put you in contact with Octavio. Venom 29. This is the Stegman sketch cover. Oh, that's cool. Stegman's Venom is something special, and this is pretty cool as a sketch cover. I like that. I like that a lot. That's very cool. Very nice. Making sure they're all, I don't want them to get all the way from CGC to my hands and then get damaged. That would be sad for me. And finally, we have another one of these. Cool. So that settles up this box. Now, we're going to go ahead, I don't think there are very many books here. There looks like there's probably 2 or 3 books in there. So let's go ahead and push forward and open the final box. So it looks like we'll be doing this all in one video. So far, I mean, I would say I don't think that this box probably is the heaviest. I don't think that I don't think we've done I think Octavio's probably done very, very well with his submission. Like I said, considering that these weren't pressed at all, this is already, I can tell you, a high number. It looks like we have maybe 3 rejects out of, I mean, I didn't count these. Let's see. There was 17 in this one. I think there's probably 17 in this one too. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So there's 15 in this one, 17 in that one, which leads me to believe there might be 2 rejects in that thing right there, because I think when I was talking to Octavio before, he was saying that it looked like the submissions were broken up into 17, 17, and 25. So we will see what the deal is here with this last one. As with the first 2 boxes, this one is packed exactly in the same way. We have this piece of thing right there on top, packing slit right here that we'll throw aside. This stuff gives good protection. It seems like CGC. I know if you saw my very first video of this, my videos all of a sudden became a lot about how well CGC packs things, and I think that they were really, really good at packing 25 things. I think they're really, really good at packing these types of boxes, and maybe not so great in packing some of the smaller boxes. But as you've seen in other recent videos that I've done, they've gotten much, much better at packing submissions of 3, 4, 5, and such. Okay, so this is mostly packed with slabs. It's got this might be 1 or 2 books. So I can tell already that there's probably about, we guessed 59, we'll confirm that number in a moment. 59 books here, and it looks like there may be 5 or fewer rejects. That, I mean, is better than 90%. And once again, I think that 80% is absolutely a fair, is a win if you get an 80% accept rate. So congratulations to Octavio. He knows how to pick his 9/8 that don't need a press. All right, let's go ahead and look at these books. We have Venom issue number 7. This is the Suyon Virgin edition. Ooh-wee. This is the first appearance of Dylan Brock in Cameo. Dylan Brock, who all of you know by this point is the new Venom. Kind of, the storyline's a little kind of sketchy on that. Is he technically Venom? I'm not so sure about that, but he is definitely is he the center of attention? He's not even the center of attention, but this is a character I've spec'd on. I have picked up Venom issue number 9 myself, which is the first full appearance of Dylan, so I am optimistic for the future of this character. This is just a really nice cover, so it's a really nice version of his first cameo appearance. Then we have, yes, this one. I have one of these at CGC right now. This is The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 55. This is the first print. This is kind of like what I was mentioning before. This one, there's nothing key about this book. The only thing that matters about this book is this cover. It's very, very, very good. And very simple, but very good. I'm a big fan of this cover. It's a little bit too bad that they did, in my opinion, the second print, the third print, the Carnage version, Mr. Gleason here ended up doing, Patrick Gleason did every single version of this cover that he could possibly think of in order to capitalize on the popularity of this one, for better or worse. Regardless, it might have taken away a little bit of the what's appealing about this one, but I think this will always be a very popular collectible cover and a great book to have in a 9.8. So we have 2 of those. 3. Oh, here's another one of these Venom 29, the Stegman sketch cover. Very cool. I know some of you might be like, Jeff, you do too many modern books in your videos. You do too many books that are 9.8s or 9.6s or 9.4s. I want to see more variety. Of grades. I want to see more variety of age of books. Let me tell you, I personally have 25 books at CGC, no, more than that. I have like 35 books at CGC that are much older and of much varying grades, waiting to come back. And CGC is a very slow process right now. In fact, we estimated that this submission probably took about 6.5 to 7 months to from CGC marking it received to shipping it back. And this is a 9.8 pre-screen that did not receive presses. So about 6.5 to 7 months for that. Also, just so you know, Octavio has been put together a submission recently of much older books at much different grades, not just modern books that were 9.8 pre-screen. We just sent them out recently, so it'll probably be a long time before they come back. But those type of videos are in the works. So we will be having content that does feature older books that aren't necessarily 9.8s. So make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so that you're informed when those videos come out. Some of them may come out in the next 2 or 3 months. Some of them might not come out for the next 9 or 10 or 12 months. So we'll see how that goes. More of these. Okay, here's something. Harley Quinn issue number 1. This is the Amano variant cover from Yoshitaka Amano. This was a hot book. I think this was the 1 in 25. I'm not remember if this was a ratio or not, but this was a hot book that people were really, really excited about. This is cool. It's a fun cover. Let me make sure they won't fall down. Another one of those. Another one of those. This is a perfect book for any Harley Quinn fan. I could just see like a Harley Quinn fan loving this. Ah, yes. Batman 89. This is the Matina variant. This is the first, what do they call it, cameo? Yes, first cameo appearance of Punchline. This is a nice book. This is the B cover, the cardstock cover, done by Matina. Punchline is here to stay, I think, folks. And I'm bullish on it. And here's the A cover of that same book, Batman 89. Very, very nice Punchline keys to have there. Next we have Gwenum versus Carnage, issue number 2. This is the Flaviano cover. I've never seen this before. That's a cool variant. I have not seen this cover before. But this is cool. King in Black, Gwenum versus Carnage, issue number 2. Wow, that's a very cool cover. I like it. I like it. And we've got another one of those right here. And we have, what's this here? Oh, ENIAC number 1. Very nice. ENIAC number 1 in a 9.8. Oh, Bad Idea Comics. What do you know? This is the first printing of this. This is very nice book to have. You know, just real fast, Bad Idea did a lot of things that I frankly think were a bad idea. One thing I do like that they did is they had this first print of this book, and then all additional prints were just not a first print. Instead of doing a second print, a third print, a fourth print, a fifth print, they just do first print and not a first print. I like that personally, but these first prints of this, I think that this is probably, well, I guess, what is it, Hero Trade? Hero Trade is probably the Bad Idea book to have. I would say that this is probably the second best Bad Idea book to have. That's a nice one. And it's a really great cover, too. Next, we have Geiger, issue number 1. This is a sketch cover. This is really, really nice. I enjoyed Geiger a lot. I actually thought that these books would do a little bit better on the secondary market than they have been, because they're kind of building a whole world around this kind of story. But it's still really great. Oh, or maybe this was the one that was really, really, of this book that was really, really popular. This Virgin version of it. Yeah. Oh, this is a Lunar Distribution exclusive. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's real nice. That's a real nice one to have in a 9.8. Okay. And another one of these Amazing Spider-Mans. Another one of these Amazing Spider-Man. Frankly, I don't think you could have too many of these. I don't know how much these are going for right now, but it's definitely a good book to slab and get in a 9.8. Another one of these. It's funny, I'm looking at the light catching this right here, and I see that it's got along the spine, it's got little kind of like tight areas along the spine that are making the cover kind of go like this, that would probably be fixed with a press, but CGC is not going to ding you and not give you the 9.8 just because there's a little bit of this in it. Then we have another one of these, King in Black, Gwenum versus Carnage 2. And then we have the last one of these, another one of these King in Black, Gwenum versus Carnage 2. So, wow, there's a lot here. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 21, 23, 24. So, if our information is correct, we have, I keep losing my, here it is. There are probably going to be 3 rejects in here. Let's go ahead and take a look at and see what the score is on that really quickly. And then what we'll do is we'll look at these potentially 3 books and see if we can't figure out why CGC rejected them. So in this one, we have 1 reject, and it is 1 copy of Amazing Spider-Man issue number 55. One copy. Take a look at that in a moment. And then we will take a look at, see what's in here. Now, once again, it's possible, and we'll find this out in just a moment when we take a look at these, that these could be 9/8 with press. But we'll see if we can't figure that out. So in this reject pile, we have, holy moly, not many. Looks like two. Two. Yeah. Yeah. One of them is that Venom 29, and the other one is this Shiri cover of Black Panther, issue number 24. Wow. Wow. That is really, really good. Congratulations to Octavio. Confirmed. There are 59 books in this submission. He got 3 rejected out of 59. That is just under 95%. That's like 94% or something like that. That's amazing. Once again, not pressed at all. So Octavio's got the eye. So from now on, I'll be running all of my 9.8 pre-screen submissions past Octavio first, and he'll tell me whether or not I should be sending them in. I hope to do, like I said, I think 80% success rate is a big, big win. 95% on 59 books? I mean, woof, that's impressive. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a break real fast and take a look at these 3 books and see if we can't figure out why these books didn't get a 9.8. Let's do that right now. All right, first up, let's look at this Venom, issue number 29. That's a 1 in 25. This book has much too much color rub there on the back, and that little bit of color rub there in the corner, that's going to keep it out of a 9.8. You see, this is a different one that did get a 9.8. It doesn't have any of those marks, so that color rub is pretty deadly. It also has this scratch on the back, which is actually not so much a scratch as it is kind of a fold in the paper when it was printed. You see, this 9.8 copy doesn't have it. That might be chalked up to a printer's defect. I'm not sure if it affects the grade, but in general, I would avoid sending books that have this kind of defect. Next, we have The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 55. You see that right there? That is a fingerprint. Boy, that was tough to see. Now, the question is, did we put it on there when we were examining the books after it got back from CGC, or did it go to CGC with that fingerprint on it? Let's assume that it did go to CGC with that fingerprint on it. That would keep it out of 9.8 category. But I want to mention that I took a little microfiber cloth to it after the fact, and that fingerprint went bye-bye immediately. So make sure you inspect your books very carefully for things like fingerprints, especially on covers that have a lot of black. And if you see a fingerprint, try to take a little bit of a microfiber cloth very gently to it. See if it'll wipe away, because if it wipes away completely, you might have a book that wouldn't get a 9.8 at CGC get a 9.8. This book also had just a tiny little bit of a crease, a little bit of a lift in the corner there. That might be a reason it comes out of a 9.8 as well. It also has some color rub. It's my understanding that CGC will allow a little bit of color rub just about the length of a staple like we see right here. So that's something to keep in mind, that a little bit of color rub might be acceptable to still get a 9.8. But in general, I would try to avoid submitting any books that have color rub. And the last rejected book we're going to look at is this Black Panther issue number 24. This book has a defect that is absolutely going to keep it out of a 9.8. That color breaking spine tick right there. In addition, it also has some color rub and some scratching. You'll see this 9.8 copy of the same book does not have that, so it's not a common defect, but that's pretty bad. That's going to keep it out of a 9.8. In addition, the rejected one had this kind of discoloration right there, almost like something got dripped on it. Surprisingly, multiple copies of this book also had that same defect, but it's hard to tell, but it's there. If you have the opportunity to compare these types of defects among multiple books, and you see that one of the books has the defect that is much more significant, don't send that one in. Send the one in that has it in a much less significant fashion. So before we wrap up this video, I want to go over some things, clarify some of the details about the books from this submission. First off, we have this King in Black, Gwenum versus Carnage, issue number 2. This is a 1 in 10 variant. I just wanted to make that clear that that is a ratio variant. In addition, this Venom, issue number 29, is a 1 in 25 variant. So that's a nice little ratio to have. As well, this book that Octavio had so many, like 15 different 9/8 copies of, this is as well a 1 in 25 variant. So that's a nice one right there. And finally, I just want to point out that this version of Harley Quinn issue number 1, this virgin cover, is a 1 per store thank you variant. So this is also a very nice book to have in a 9.8. So this was an interesting video. We didn't have much by way of analysis to do, but there were, tiny little imperfections that took those 3 books out of the 9.8 category, and I think legitimately so. Color breaking spine ticks, even very small ones, they're not going to be 9/8. That's just a fact. Color rub is something that you need to be very careful of, okay? You might be able to get away with a little bit of it. It's hard to tell definitively for me at this point, but in general, just avoid submitting books with color rub whenever possible. Might be able to get away with a little bit, but a significant amount or a noticeable amount, I think you're going to have a hard time getting away with. And in addition, I just want to remind everybody, when we talk about getting our books pressed, we often forget a very important component of the pressing service, which is the cleaning part. It's a press and a clean. It's never just a press. And cleaning can be very important. It's so easy to leave fingerprints on books, especially when they're black covers. And there's things that you can do to correct them. I just took just a little bit of microfiber cloth and I got rid of that fingerprint. So it's hard to tell if that was the reason that that book didn't get a 9.8, but it's something to keep in mind. When you're looking, don't just look for flaws, look really, really carefully. And finally, I just want to point out, make sure that you have proper lighting when you are analyzing your books. I sat right here in this chair looking over those 3 books, and I was having a hard time finding any problems. I could see some things, but missed a lot of other ones. I took it over to the other side of the room, closer to the windows where the sun was coming in, and all of a sudden, certain additional flaws just popped out at me. So make sure you're in some really nice lighting. I think that they use a combination of natural and interior lighting. When they look at them, just make sure it's nice, good lighting that really shows you all the potential defects of these books. All right, so I hope that you found this book enjoyable, educational. I hope you had fun. I had fun making it. If you like the video, likes are appreciated by me. If you want to see more of this content, I recommend hitting the subscribe button because there will be more videos coming out like this. Once again, I want to thank Octavio so much for his continued support of this video series with his submissions. It means a lot to me. I'm sure it means a lot to all of you as well. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.